Joining me now is the first person in the NFL that we knew that was directly affected by the coronavirus. That is the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, Sean Payton, joining us now remotely. Sean, how are you, buddy?
Good, Jay. How are you?
Good. How are you feeling?
I'm fine. I'm two and a half, a little bit just under 2.5 weeks. 2 weeks yesterday, I guess. I was cleared 5 days ago. I'm feeling good. I was fortunate. I just had my initial symptoms were a low-grade fever and some chills for 2 or 3 days. And then I began feeling better each and every day after that. I never had any of the breathing or respiratory issues.
I know also Skyline also is there with you. She also got sick. Is she good? She's out of the woods now also?
Yeah, both of us cleared 4 and 6 days ago, actually. And so, look, we're fortunate. We've been staying in, obviously. We got a workout in. Yesterday we ran 3 miles. I think everyone's stir crazy. Unfortunately, the appetite didn't disappear with this virus.
So what do the doctors tell you moving forward now that you've had it?
Well, essentially this, look, what they know that you can't give it now. In other words, we're far enough out removed from when we had symptoms. We followed every CDC guideline, which was, 4 days fever-free and then a week since our last symptoms. And we're going on 2 weeks now. So we're well past that. And there's a chance that with patients that have recovered from this virus, that they may be able to use our blood either through transfusion or through some plasma technique where it could possibly help those that are currently recovering. And so we'll get tested again relative to what shows up in your blood, because they feel like with 95% of the people that get this virus, most are recovering just fine. And there's a chance that hopefully can benefit those that are struggling.
Sean, it took us a while just to be able to connect here via the computer. You have to do that with an entire staff now going into the draft. But what is it going to be like for you guys setting up? You still have to get prepared for the draft coming up in a few weeks. I think you guys start your draft meetings this week, right? So what are you guys doing?
Yeah, so I'll take you through it real quick. Tomorrow morning at 8:30 we start. We're not at our facility. It's going to be much different in that the scouts, and each team has anywhere from 8 to 12 scouts, area scouts, regional scouts. The scouts will Skype in or phone message in on their video app. And then in that meeting room, which will be off campus, we're going to hold it at Mrs. Benson owns Dixie Beer Brewery. It's brand new. It's on the outskirts of town. There's a great conference hall in there. There's no one there. And look, you got a brewery, so if you're bored, there's a lot of beer. But anyway,
sounds like a fantasy football draft.
I know. But all seriousness, that's where we're going to be from here until the end of the draft. And so in that room, I want you to envision a large rectangular table, 5 or 6 people at that table spread out, probably 7 or 8 TV monitors, and we'll conduct the meeting just as we have. Our giant board will be in that room, so we'll be able to see the position stacks, the round stacks. Tomorrow we'll start with quarterbacks, and then we'll move on to running backs probably later afternoon. So each day will be mapped out. They'll be able to cater food in, and that's going to be our draft headquarters here for the next 3 weeks.
By the way, I know the quarantine because you, who comes from the Bill Parcells School of Paranoia, suddenly you become your Twitter putting out plays. You're like an Instagram model for Twitter now, where everybody has to click on. Everybody wants to see what you're going to reveal next. What is that?
Hey, I'm an influencer.
The world really is coming to an end.
Listen, I was all of us. I just finished eating, and it was probably 10 o'clock at night, and I was somewhere in that hour, and I was coming across Twitter, and I think it was high school or college coach just sent me this note. What about listing your top plays from empty? And it was really a general note going out to anyone that wanted to join in. So I quickly drew up one on a piece of paper, took a picture of it, and then jumped in the conversation. And then it was one of those deals where it just kept pulling you in. And an hour and a half later, I'm still in on this conversation. I've drawn up 4 different plays, talked about the play, a little bit of the history of the play, and then how we call it, what our terminology is, things that I think maybe sometimes we take for granted or might be mundane or redundant ended up being like really exciting or interesting maybe to someone just that is a stranger to what we do.
By the way, we have the Honey Badger, Tyron Matthew, coming up next also. And he's texting me, we're both going to block you on Instagram now that you think that you're an influencer. It's done. Okay, we do have one last question here from one of our fans. We're going to take it from our tag board here. You now have Tom Brady twice a year in your division. What's your thoughts on playing perhaps the greatest of all time twice a year?
Well, the first thought is I'd rather not. You'd rather play him every 4 years in the AFC East, right? He's a tremendous competitor. I think more importantly than just playing Tom Brady, and I said this morning, you and I both know it's not just Tom, it's what he's going to bring to the other 52 players. And it's what the great players in our industry or sport period do. It's what they do to the rest of the team. Michael Jordan and the Bulls story is going to be coming up in April 19th. It's going to debut. So again, I was there when he arrived, and it wasn't just defending or just handling Michael Jordan. Well, the point I'm making is it's what everyone else around him did, and it's how he elevated the play of everyone else around him. So not only is it Tom arriving in Tampa, it's just that standard's going to go up there. And so, hey, that's part of the deal.
For the best access, perspective, and personalities in all of sports, follow us at Fox Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.